Good morning, students. I once again welcome you to the online class Standard 8 Subject Physics. I am Amos Michael, teaching physics in Mount Zion Matriculation Higher Secondary School. So, this class is the continuation of the previous class. So, we are seeing Chapter 2 Physical Quantities and its Measurements. So, in this topic, in this class, particularly, we are going to discuss about the relative density and applications of flotation. So, what are the learning objectives of this presentation? So, first we are going to see an introduction about the relative density, and then we are going to solve some of the numerical problems, and then we will discuss some of the applications of flotation, and with the note of scientific fact we will wind up this session. So, first and foremost, what do you mean by relative density? The relative density of a substance is the ratio of its density to that of water. So, relative density of a substance can be written as the ratio of density of the substance to the density of water. But we know the formula for the density of a substance, that is, mass of the substance by volume of the substance will give you the density of the substance. Similarly, this by is denoted like this. Density of water is nothing but mass of water divided by volume of water. So, these both, since both volumes are equal, so they will get cancelled with each other. So, we are left with mass of the substance to the mass of water. So, the relative density of a substance is nothing but the ratio of the mass of any volume of the substance to the mass of equal volume of water. So, that is very important. Here we can say that relative density of a substance is simply the density of the substance to the density of water, but here the very important point is the volume of the substance and the volume of the water should be equal, and the relative density has no units. Since it is a ratio, it has no units at all. So, relative density is the heaviness of the substance in comparison to water. So, for cork it is 0.12, for wood it is 0.8, for ice it is 0.92, for water it is 1, and for iron it is 7.8, and for mercury it is 13.6, and for gold it is 19.3. So, here are the some of the relative density values for various substances is given. The mass of an empty RD bottle is 24.5 grams. Its mass is 74.4 gram when filled with water and 87 gram when filled with the liquid. Then find the relative density of the liquid. The mass of RD bottle when it is empty, its value is given as 24.5 gram. When the mass of the bottle when filled with water, it is 74.4 grams. Therefore, the mass of the water can be obtained by subtracting this value from this value. We will get the mass of the water is 49.9 gram. Similarly, the mass of the bottle when filled with the liquid, it is given as 87 grams. Therefore, the mass of the liquid can be obtained by subtracting the mass of the empty bottle from this value, that is 87 grams. So, 87 minus 24.5 grams, we will left with the mass of the liquid is given by 62.5 grams. So, the relative density of the liquid is obtained by using the formula density of the liquid to density of water. So, here the density of the liquid is given by the formula mass of the liquid and by volume of the liquid. LIQ, it denotes liquid, M is the mass, V is the volume. So, here M is the mass of the water to volume of the water. So, when this mW by VW, when it goes up it becomes upside down. So this division is converted into multiplication by this will go into the numerator and this will go into the denominator. You know that it is nothing but a simple mathematics. Then these two, since these two volumes are equal, we can cancel out each other. So the volume of the water and the volume of the liquid gets cancelled. So then we will be left with mass of the liquid mLiq by mass of the water. We know both the values, that is the mass of the liquid is 62.5 whereas the mass of the water is 49.9, and if you divide these two values you will get 1.25. Hence the relative density of the liquid is 1.25, and you should note it down that it has no units at all. Relative density bottle, that is the relative density of a liquid can be determined by using a special type of bottle called relative density bottle, and simply we can call it as RD bottle. So the relative density bottle, also called as specific gravity bottle, that is SG bottle. The relative density bottle is a small glass with a stopper having a fine capillary tube. So look at this bottle, there will be a fine capillary tube at the center of this glass stopper. So it has a capacity which is marked on the wall of the bottle. So its capacity will be marked on the wall of the bottle. When the bottle is filled with the liquid and the stopper inserted, the excess liquid rises through the capillary tube and drains out. So the excess liquid it rises through this capillary tube and it drains out of the RD bottle. So this ensures the bottle always contains a fixed volume of liquid filled in it. So this will ensure the fixed volume of any liquid. So this can be used to determine the density of the liquid. So next we will see some of the applications of flotations. First one is icebergs floats on water. So large pieces or blocks of ice floating in seawater are called icebergs. You look at this diagram. Here it is nothing but it's a large block of ice and it is flowing in seawater, and this is called icebergs. The density of these icebergs is less than that of water. You know that the density of ice is about 0.92 gram per centimeter cube or cubic centimeter, a little less than the density of seawater, which is about 1.02 gram per cubic centimeter. So therefore an iceberg floats in water. You know what do you mean by the word? What is the meaning of the word float? It lie on the surface of the liquid. So objects made up of wax float on water. The relative density of a candle wax, you know that it is 0.93 gram per cubic centimeter. Hence this wax hence the objects made up of wax can float on surface of the water. And third one is, it is easier to swim in a sea water than in river water. Sea water has a lot of salt dissolved in it. So sea water is denser than the river water. Therefore it is easier to swim in a sea water than in a river water. And fourth one is, a ship loaded with cargo submerged more in river water than in sea water. So look at this picture, it is nothing but the ship. See, this one is the cargo ship. So sea water has more density than the river water. Ships are, you know that ships are made up of metals such as steel or aluminum alloy, which are denser than water. So to make it be able to float on the surface of the sea, it is hollow, that is the ship is hollow and filled with air, making the average density lower than the density of water. So even if it is loaded with a cargo. So ships travels different densities of water, sea water or fresh water. So for the safety loading of the ship under the different sea conditions, plimsoll lines are provided. Plimsoll lines are lines which show maximum height of the ship that should be underwater. Look at the diagram. So this one is the plimsoll line. So here the TF, it denotes the tropical freshwater load line, and F, it denotes the freshwater load line, and T, it denotes the tropical zone load line, and S, summer load line. W stands for winter load line, and WNA, winter North Atlantic load line. So these lines are together called plimsoll lines, which will decide the loading of the ship. Next one, hydrogen balloons rise up in the air. You know, the hydrogen filled balloons have lesser density than the components of gases present in the air. So when the hydrogen gas in the balloon is heated by a burner, its density decreases. As a result, the balloon rises higher and higher. So this is the only reason that the balloon rises up. So do you know, submarines are made in such a way that they can float as well as sink in the water. So some submarines, they are made in such a way that they can simultaneously float as well as sink in the water, and they are made so with the help of ballast tanks. This one is the ballast tanks. So when the submarine has to go underwater, then it fills these tanks with the sea water, making the density of the submarines higher than the density of water. Therefore, this allows the submarines, that means this ballast tanks allows the submarines to sink in the water and go underwater. When the submarines has to float, it clears, that is, the ballast tank clears the sea water from it, so making the density of submarines lower and allowing it to rise towards the surface of the sea. And do you know one more thing? The average density of a human body is comparable to the density of water. With some effort, the human body can float on the water. You know that the density of water is 1 kilogram per cubic centimeter. So the average density of a human body is 0.97 gram per cubic centimeter. And if it is slightly lesser than the relative density of water. Okay, so with some effort, the human body can float on the surface of the water. So swimming in seawater is much easier than in fresh water, as the density of seawater is higher than the density of fresh water. So this is what your assignment is. So you have to read the pages from 26 to 29 and mark the keywords, and do the sum in page number 28, example sum 5 in your classwork note. So read the do you know concepts in page number 29. Study the OTQ, means objective type questions, A3 to A9, B3, B5, C3 to C9, D2 to D4. And finally you have to study the question answer, that is subjective type questions, E5 to E8. That's all, my dear students. I hope that you will understand the concepts clearly, and I hope that you will enjoy the class. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.